Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, the supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, but not all supplements are created equally. We'll be talking to the founder of a game-changing company. That's next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, have you noticed that over the years that supplement aisle in your grocery store has grown to now 2, 3, 4 aisles, and the choices are dizzying. The problem with it is some of those products you're buying are a complete waste of money. To talk about that today, Barton Scott, he is a chemical engineer, nutritionist, and founder of Upgraded Formulas. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
All right, I know we've got countless moms and dads watching this right now, and when they go to get something for their kids, they just pick some kind of chewable vitamin with a cartoon character on the front, and they think that they're doing their kids a favor. Tell us why it might not even be doing a job.
Whether it's for your kids or for you, it's really important that you absorb. So people think that quality is the issue, and really it's absorption. Are you absorbing it? And the thing that we see often is that people aren't testing. They don't actually know what they're low in, and they're just taking something because they were told that they should take this or that, vitamin C, vitamin D. What if you're high in calcium? Things like that. So yeah, I pioneered a way to have minerals absorb in the body without even requiring digestion.
Yes.
And then testing to know which ones you need, and the results you see are something we're really proud of. They're astounding.
Sure, and I'm going to call Barton an accidental entrepreneur because he didn't set out to start a supplement company. It just happened. Let's go ahead and roll this video.
It feels so good now to have so many things to offer someone that was in my mom's position then. And where she really was this place of, she had just retired as a librarian, as an English teacher, and her health started to decline right around that time. And it seemed so quick looking back. It was, she goes into the doctor and then they give her a medication. And then pretty soon they're saying, you need a different medication. Then they're saying, hey, surgery. And then the thymus gland's being removed. And then, now we know what it is. It's myasthenia gravis. She would get results back and they go, your tests are pretty normal here. And it's like very obvious to me at this point, the tests either shouldn't be normal or you're not testing for the right thing, I'm thinking. Isn't that obvious? If this isn't the problem, you haven't identified it. So keep looking, basically. But instead of continuing to look, they're just, here's a medication. With her, and this was the tough thing, was just watching the sort of certainty and the joy that she had just be dulled. She had always been this beautiful inside and out person, and the light was starting to go dim, starting to go off. I felt powerless in this place of, not only is this bad for her, but this is bad for me in 30 years. If I can't make her well now, what makes me think that I'll be able to be well when I'm her age? We realize as the doctors are failing them, I just completely shut off any positivity or optimism that they're going to help solve any problem. I start cold calling, I start Googling. We do a lot of different testing on myself, on her. I'm trying to solve my own issues, and she's trusting that the medical system is going to help her. And I'm way beyond that. So I'm doing as much sort of investigation for myself and for her at the same time. And I'm finding just things aren't improving for myself. Like I'm getting essentially test after test after test where there's nothing to work on because it's just not actionable. It's like, oh, hey, congratulations, you're within range. Awesome. And it's like, I'm looking for a problem because I know there's something to solve. So I need a problem so I can then figure out the solution. But first, it's very obvious to me that I need to know what the problem is. Finally, we find a hair test. Thanks to my girlfriend at the time, who's become really interested in this whole process. And she has a friend that has gone through cancer at a really, really early age in her life. And because of that, we find this amazing nutritionist that seems to just have so much wisdom. And he just matter-of-factly goes, oh, well, we need to do mineral testing and we need to use your hair. And luckily, just through that wealth of knowledge, I start to build some hope. On one hand, I'm super happy finally to have something to work on. I'm like, yes. We start supplementing those things that she really needs, and we start cutting out the things that she's high in. The levels are staying about the same. In some cases, they're getting worse. And I'm becoming really confused, and I go, well, it's just the brand of supplements, or it's a certain form. We do this for about a year of just, all right, test again, try a different approach, try a different approach, try a different approach. And none of it's working. The minerals aren't absorbing. And she also is just getting worse, and the clock is ticking. One night I'm here in Austin, I wake up at 3 in the morning, and I go, oh, so I have a breakthrough in realizing, well, the particle size of these minerals is so big that the gut has to digest them. Most people's guts are, and apparently mine, even though I'm in my early 20s, and also her in her 60s, are just like not able to do it. So maybe it's working for some people, I don't know. I just know for sure it's not working for us, even though I would think it should. Feels a little scary because it's also like, here you go. You have the clarity of this, it's for you to do. And like, if you don't do it, I think you know the consequences. So I'm working on it and thinking about it and trying to give myself an MBA at the same time, basically just so I can build a company that's going to be able to bring these products into the world so that I can save my mom and myself. And just anyone else I care about, anyone else that wants to live a good life. So I want so bad for this to work at this point in my life. And I'm thinking, there's just so much on the line, and I know time's running out. And I was taking a nap. It was a Sunday afternoon, and I woke up, and I remember thinking, something's wrong. Like something, I could just tell without, just intuitively. I woke up, it felt like a bad dream, and I went over and I looked at my phone, and I saw 2 missed calls from both of my sisters. And then I just also knew intuitively, oh, it's one of my parents. And I also knew immediately in that moment, oh, it's my mom. She had an aneurysm and she was gone almost immediately. You know, she never woke up. I remember feeling my heart sink. I got in the car and drove back home to Louisiana right then. Although I can be at peace with that, even then, I remember thinking, this is what I'm supposed to do. And so began the long road of getting people the nutrients they need so they can live the life that they want to live. I feel so lucky because we can honor her memory now. I've created a technology that means that the supplements actually absorb, and that means the products actually work. And that means that you actually get better. And what I love for people today is that this whole process is so much easier because on one hand, you have essentially testing that works. It tells you what's wrong. Hey, you know, you've got some things that you can improve. It's all good news because you can improve it. And then on the other side, we have products that really work. What an idea, right? What a concept. I want people to know that there are options that work. All I've ever wanted for myself, and it's all I want for people, is really just to know that people aren't suffering from things that I know can be solved relatively easy if people are consistent, if they're patient, and if they take action. If you're willing to do that, this is for you. If you need to see yourself live an outstanding life, this is for you. If you're struggling right now and you feel like you're living up to a fraction of the potential, or you feel like things are really good, it can always be better. And that's what I'm always pursuing. And that's what this company is about. You know, it's upgrading where you are currently, wherever that is.
Wow, what a great video, and it did a great job kind of telling your motivation. Let's talk about hair testing versus, say, blood work.
Mm-hmm. Blood is really you and your best behavior. And what I mean is that blood is the most mineral and nutrient-rich place in the body, and yet we go and test that, and you often, nearly always, get the feedback of, you know, Jeff, you're fine, your blood work looks normal, it's within range. And if you took the time out of your day to go and get this test done, the last thing you want to hear is there's nothing to work on. You actually want to hear, all right, we have a good plan. Here's what to do. We've identified something. This is the root cause. And fortunately, that was never the case. So I spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to find a solution for both myself and for my mother. I was starting to lose my short-term memory towards the end of college, thanks to some of the approaches like Adderall, Vyvanse, that I went and told the doctor that I wanted, even though I knew I didn't need it. And there's just so many better options, including getting yourself overall healthy in a way that supports your focus and supports your sleep and supports your energy levels. So the thing with hair is that it shows you the entire periodic table that we all saw in 8th grade chemistry. And then some of us have, horror stories or memories around that. But the cool thing is that gives you all the data, and that builds everything on the planet. We know that, so we test for that. And then now we have solutions that really help you replenish those deficiencies and bring you from way down here to where you need to be.
Well, and what is most exciting, I think, is getting people off of the cocktail of pills that they're taking.
Right.
These days, famously, doctors have just like 3-4 minutes with you, and so their first thing is, oh, you don't sleep here, here's a pill. Mm-hmm. But many times they may not even realize how those pills are interacting. Tell us how your solution allows people to get off some of the drugs they're taking.
Absolutely. So the way it works is you have an at-home test that you order on our website, and it allows you to get this comprehensive list via email, and then you talk to one of our nutritionists just over the phone or on Zoom, and you get a plan. You get a plan, and that may say eat more foods like this, like high in potassium, for example, low in calcium. Maybe your calcium's too high because you've taken vitamin D for too long. And you get this clear path, so you actually get off, or you no longer feel any sort of need to take things you might have taken for decades. Wow. We have people that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they've been taking things since college, like sleep medication, and within a month they're off of it because they don't need it anymore, because the medication was there to fill a gap of a symptom. And what we've done is actually gone in and relieved your body's need to send the signal of distress and help, because the body has now, the cells have now what they need. So the cells are happy, your organs are happy, your body's happy, and then your life is better.
We're going to scroll down a page, and this shows some of your products. I noticed that some of them are like mood enhancers. I mean, can you really improve your mood?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, our mood is down just like when we have a headache, because it's letting us know that something is wrong. So when we get to this place of, oh, I have a headache or a migraine, or you're constipated, or, just literally any symptom you have, back pain, all these things, low energy, fatigue, cold hands and feet, all thyroid dysfunction, all these things, can't go to sleep, wake up in the middle of the night. All of these things are solvable. And I think one of the most hope-inspiring things that I teach is just that there is choice and there is opportunity to have a pathway that doesn't include drugs.
Well, and I love it that you eat your own cooking. How often do you get your own hair tested?
I do my own hair testing every 2 months. I recommend that most people do it every 2 or 3, depending on how intense you want to be about it. But certainly quarterly is needed, because it's a lot like us going on a road trip. If we're going even just half an hour down the road, we probably look at navigation 50 times or so, at least once a minute, to understand where are we exiting or returning. Otherwise, you look at navigation once, which is the equivalent of testing once or not at all, and your chances. What are your chances of making it to your destination?
Absolutely.
None, right? Like literally none. So yeah, you need the feedback, and that's what testing provides.
One of the things I want to just point out, because I'm just a foot away from Barton, his eyes are clear, his skin is just soft. You can tell you're a healthy guy. We all know people you look at them and you're like, I don't even have to test your hair. I know your body is inflamed, and so you're truly saving lives, aren't you?
Yes, we are, and it feels really, really good. And to talk about that for a second. So we have something called Upgraded Mood that I created because I saw some research that you can find this, by just searching online. The lowest areas in the country in lithium in groundwater have the highest rates of suicide and depression. So depression, suicide, if you're feeling just sort of the blues often, it is a mixture of what we're talking about, not getting enough sun, having, just things that our nutritionist can talk someone through during a consultation and provide some really foundational advice, in addition to, hey, these are the supplements you need. So we actually care about getting people well, and we do, which is amazing.
What is remarkable to me is we probably know more about how the human body functions than ever before in history, right. And yet as a nation we're getting fatter and less healthy. So why the disconnect?
And just dumb.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is, dumber. And it's because of the nutrients, really, in the soil. To answer your question, the soil. If this is how much topsoil, about 18 inches, we now have a third of that, roughly, anywhere in the world, pretty much. And what that means is the nutrients are contained in that topsoil. So where are the nutrients coming from if we're getting 40 to 50% less nutrients than what our grandparents had? We're not eating 40% more. We're not eating 50% more. We're not eating 20% more in terms of good quality things that have nutrition. So what that results in is our hormones being low. So one thing that we see often is that nearly every doctor that specializes in hormones really has no clue about how to replenish the building blocks of these hormones. They just write a script and say, hey, here's your hormone replacement, which may have you feeling better, but it's not solving the problem root cause, right, that makes you healthy overall.
Sure.
So instead, the hair testing approach and having products that absorb really well. So it's not just taking magnesium, it's taking something like what we've done, where we've done a double-blind clinical trial on our absorption technology that I was able to develop as an engineer, and seeing that result before and after. So seeing your results change is just very affirming, it gives you confidence.
In the final 2 minutes, let's talk about toxins, because you really can't live in America and not be exposed to toxins. We're taking it in, even in some of our fruits and vegetables. How do some of your solutions work to remove the toxins?
So it's interesting, with the hair analysis that we offer, again, this ships anywhere in the country and the world, you see heavy metals, which are the most toxic things on the planet, more so than plastics even. So, when we're talking mercury and tin and aluminum, all sorts of things like that. So we're removing those from the body by actually using the minerals, the products that we're supplementing, and increasing metabolism. So actually, people do, although it's not truly the focus, it's getting people healthy, people do lose weight, and they do get more fit, and they do, in some cases, kind of spontaneously drop weight because they were holding weight due to the heavy metals, which is kind of more to explain than we have time for right here. But that absolutely happens, and it's really amazing because you see people just have energy, more energy, and they don't rely on coffee to get their day started. You can still have it, but to rely on something, it means that you no longer have the choice. So we're all about giving people more choice.
Outstanding. You've been an amazing interview. We're going to end with the website, which is upgradedformulas.com. The great Barton Scott. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.